And we are back. Hello guys, welcome back to my next video. And here I'm going to study one more hand from this session. Okay, so let's see what hands we have here. We just worked with this hand, right? And now we have some of these hands. Ace 3, I think ace 3 is not very interesting to investigate, right? We had something like this not long ago. This one, I think this one is very interesting, to be honest. 10-10 versus 6 queen 9. I think because I should play check call here, and I can see that I possibly played a bet here. I think it depends. I think maybe the guy was out of position that I played versus. Yeah, here the guy is out of position, that's why I bluff here. But if I were out of position, I think I would check call this hand. Even though maybe here actually I'm making a mistake, I suppose, with betting. I don't know, let's see. Yeah, I think here it depends on the situation. But if we play that I'm out of position, I really want to investigate how I play this particular board. Because it is very draw heavy. Yeah, very wet, as we say, because it has straight draws, flush draws, right? Maybe maybe full house draws, right? Okay, good. I want to know like how to play this board better. So I'm going to investigate this particular hand. Not this particular hand, but this particular board. If I open up on UTG, okay, and I will imagine as always that the guy on the button called me. We will be studying later small blinds, big blinds, their plays, yeah, of these players. And that's why like it will take time, guys. First we need to focus on this particular thing, okay? One step at a time. We study purely this board. We imagine that we opened up here on UTG and we play versus the button caller. Okay, let's jump right into it. Okay, I'm going to do this again like this. Then I take 35% of my ace 10. I go for 6 plus, 6 plus, king, queen offsuit. I take all the broadways with ace 9 suited, king 9 suited, jack 9 suited, 10 9 suited. Okay, ace 5, ace 4, ace 3 suited. And we are going to go for 50% of ace 2, queen 9 suited. And we will take 25%. Wait a second. Yeah, that's all correct. Okay, we'll take 25% of these guys and this guy, and 15% of 4 4, 3 3, and 2 2. Great. Okay, we come to our number here. Click the button. Okay, and now let's see the board that we have. A fantastic board. Okay, we have 6 of diamonds, queen of diamonds, 9 of hearts. 6 of diamonds, queen of diamonds, and 9 of hearts. Great. I think this is a fantastic board. And I think we still are advantageous here on this board because look guys, we play 6 plus, which means that we automatically strike all these sets, right, and sets, plus we have all the top pairs here on this board, and we are going to have a lot of hands that dominate these queens, like kings and aces, right? Good. Now let's see, let's start with our value hands. First, sixes. Okay, all these sixes are going to bet here. Okay, good. As for these nines, I think actually some of the sixes will go into my check raising range. And even some of my queens might go into check raising range possibly. Not that much, but quite possibly. Okay, first let's see our super great value bets here. And before I do that, let's take a look. Can we find here 60% of the betting range on this board, right? 162 multiply 65 multiply 0.6. So because we're going to bet 60% of our range, according to the book that I mentioned many times in my videos. Okay, so this is the amount of hands that we kinda must bet here, okay? Kinda have to bet, okay, not must. We don't owe anything to anyone. Okay, now let's see. First, let's identify our super hands here. Okay, that's great. Ace queen, great. I think aces, kings. Okay, great. And maybe some of these guys. Okay, good. So look here, we found our best hands here that we have, okay? Now, the question is, I will just add up one more hand. That is going to be 8-7 of diamonds, though it is questionable whether it is our, like, super value hand, right? The opponent might have some of his draw flushes, okay? So I won't mark it as my value hand. Good, so we have these hands that are super strong, yeah, and they're going to really like dominate most of the time on this board, right? They're going to crush our opponent. Do I want to play all of these hands right now, all of my 45 value hands on the flop? Definitely not. Okay, now let's see, what do we want to actually check call here? So I would prefer to not to bet some of these queens, so I will decrease the amount of these betting queens by 50%. Good. Now I will decrease the amount of these nines. I want to check call with some of my nines of diamonds. Okay, nines of diamonds, they have a very good potential to stand versus, I'm sorry, let me reverse it, to stand like this, reversed. Okay, they have very good potential to stand versus our opponent's bets, right? And we are not that afraid of any draw flushes on this board. At the same time, we come very strong to the later street turn. Okay, as for these sixes, I think I might want to check raise some of these sixes, okay? That's why like I will go for 60% with these sixes. And when we are going to raise, aggressively, I think. Maybe we want to raise 4x, right? Like the opponent bets, for example, 50%, and we raise like multiply this number by 4. Maybe we'll multiply this number by 5, okay? Because the board is very, very, very wet. It is very draw heavy. Yeah, so many flushes, so many straights that might complete here. So we might want to put some of these sixes into our check raising range, for sure. Good. Now, what else do we want to do here? I think with some of these kings, especially with kings of clubs, we might want to check call here. So put them into our check calling range. So that's why I will take it out from my betting range. So let me get rid of those diamonds in my king queen. Okay, that's good. And what else? With ace queen, with ace of diamonds, I think we can do the same thing here. Okay, we still are very strong. You see, if we check call with ace queen, where ace, we have an ace of diamonds, so very powerful combination, I think. And I think we can put into our check calling range some of these aces with aces of diamonds. So I will take it out from my betting range. As for the kings, I really want to bet all of my kings here. I think they're still very vulnerable. If an ace comes here, so these kings, you know, they will regret not betting on the flop. So I think we are really good with betting these kings here. Now look here, the amount of value bets has decreased to 31 here. I think this is a very good number. So let's keep on in this way. I think this is really, really good. Now let's see, what are we going to bluff bet? According to the book, we have to have 2 bluff bets for every very strong value bet. Okay, if I have 31 very strong value bets, so we're going to bluff bet around 62 combinations, right? Because you can multiply in your mind. Yeah, 31 multiplied 2, so equals 62. Great, we're going to have 62 combinations that we're going to bluff. And we will exactly come to approximately the number of 100, the amount of combinations that we want to bet here, that will make approximately 60% of our betting range. Yeah, actually this all, you know, when you practice, it becomes much easier to understand all this. And you see, guys, I take it really slowly, step by step. Okay, good. Now, what are we going to bluff here? So first of all, let's start with our draw straights and with our gut shots. Okay, I take this pink color for my bluffs. my bluff bet is pink. Okay, 7-8, that's for sure. Then what do I have here? Jack 10, that's for sure. King 10, all of these king 10s. Yes, just bluff bet them, guys. Just bluff bet. And King Jack is going to be bluff bet. Guys, I forgot one thing here. I have here this very powerful value hand that is very vulnerable. So I will put it into my value hands. Okay, so what else am I going to bluff bet here? Let's see. I think all my 10s, like ace 10 might be a very good bluff bet here. Do I want to bluff bet all my ace 10s? I don't think so. I think ace 10 of clubs and spades, I might want to drop it. Okay, but as for the rest, I will be betting there. Okay, wait a second here. Let's see. 10-9, want to check call. Jack 9, want to check call. Okay, 9-8, want to check call as well. Okay, let's see. So far we have only 13 bluffs. Okay, we don't have enough. That's for sure. We don't have enough bluffs here. We need to have more bluffs. Okay, what do we bluff then? Ace 9, check call. Ace 10. Okay, I will put these ace 10. I will start taking some of my flushes. Draw flush, runner flush, I mean, and runner straight. Yeah, draw flush and runner flush plus my runner straights. Okay, this is good. Ace jack, I think we can do the same. Ace king, do same. Ace king here. I think I will bet all my ace kings possibly. Maybe not all ace kings. Definitely I want to bluff bet my my diamonds here, right? Diamonds, ace king for diamonds. Ace queen, I want to check call. Ace jack with, yes, I think all my ace jacks with, actually all my ace jacks might bluff bet here. I think they're really good because we can catch a 10 and we can continue barreling, or we can catch a king. We can see, maybe we barrel, maybe not, right? So maybe these guys are really good, but especially with diamonds are really, really good. Yeah, here ace 10. Here I think ace 10, all ace 10 are really good because we can catch a jack, we can continue barreling, we can catch an 8, 9, 10, and we can continue barreling as well. So all my ace 10s are going to bluff bet here. That's why like all these ace 10s are going to bluff bet as well. Great. And what about this one, 10-9? I want to have this weak one maybe in my check calling range. Yeah, I don't risk much if I just check call with it. Now, let's see, what else do we bluff bet here? I think we bluff bet, of course, my, okay, these aces, but I think they will fly into my check raising range later. What else? I think maybe these 6s, 6-5 and 7-6 are really good to bluff bet here as well. I really like to bluff bet this lowest pair that you have. Third pair is really great to bluff bet. Second pair is never good, almost never good to bluff bet, unless you just have some like draw flush with that, I mean. But, and draw straight, yeah. But other than that, like second pairs are really good to check call. The board can go all the different directions. You want to be prepared for that. You want to have some very strong check calls here. Okay, very good. Now, what else? King 9. King 9 of diamonds. I want to check call. Very strong for check calls. Check call, check call, check call. So yeah, as for these 10-9, Jack 9, I really want to check call with them as well. Now, so far I have 42 bluff bets here. What else can I bluff bet? Let's see. I think I want to bluff bet some of these guys. Some of these bottom draw flushes, runner flushes. So the reason for that is the following. I can catch a set with these guys, with which I have to be very careful, right? Because the opponent might already have a set. At the same time, I can catch a draw flush, and I can continue pushing my opponent. They're really great to, you know, even knock out our opponent's middle flushes, you know, middle draw flushes. They're really, really good for that. At the same time, they work very well against our opponent's kind of top cards that didn't strike that well. Yeah, for example, what can it be? Maybe something like hard to see, hard to say. Yeah, actually hard to say. Don't knock out that well. Okay, maybe they knock out something like, you know, maybe ace jack of spades, right? That the opponent will not call versus 75% bet and 67% bet. So, you know, something like, yeah, something like this. Ace jack of spades. Imagine you have an ace jack of spades. You are in position and you have such a very huge bet. You don't have any potential. You have to drop that hand. Okay, or check raise. Okay, now let's see. 5-4. 5-4, I will take only one with me. That is gonna be diamonds. Okay, so already we have 44-55. Still not enough. We need more bluffs here. I think I might want to bluff some of these guys. Yes, I think I might want to bluff some of these guys. The reason for that is the following. The opponent might have a 9, the second pair, that he is never going to raise versus us. Okay, at the same time, we make this 9 feel very uncomfortable with calling versus a huge bet. And we can catch our set, we continue betting versus this 9. And we can catch a draw straight. And we can continue betting versus this 9 that the opponent has, right? And we can like bet. We can continue betting on the river as well if there is a draw straight. And the opponent will find it very uncomfortable to call that. Plus, imagine this situation. We have 6 like on the board, 7 that we have, 8 comes, 9 and 10 comes, right? And the opponent has like 9-10 or the opponent has 9-8. He has 2 pairs and you jam into him, you know, starting like from the flop, like bet, right? So I think the opponent will find it very uncomfortable to play in this way. So that's why like these guys, I will definitely add them up into my bluffing range here. The only thing is I'm not sure, should I add up all of them like 100%, like all 6 combinations, or I should go only for diamonds, right? I think on the flop that's fine to bet all of them. On the turn I already have to be careful with them and drop some of them. Yeah, play check fold. So I think that's good. That's good. Okay, good. Now that feels really good. Almost there, guys. Almost there. So I think with bluffs we're more or less good. And now I want to see what I'm going to check call here. So let's see. We have 74.1 combinations that are going to check. 74.1. You see, how do I get this? Why is that? Because I grouped so far these guys 88 combinations, 88.5 here in my bluff bets I have and in my value bets. Okay, and I have this amount of hands left out of my entire range, right? I have 74.1 combination that is left that I'm going to check. Now we need to have our very strong check calls, guys. Work on your check calls, work on your check raises, guys, because this is very important. You know, this like this thing here, you know, you need to have very strong check calls because people don't get this. You need to play the turn, my friends. You need to be prepared for the turn. Okay, what am I going to check call here? 74.1. Now let's see. Definitely I'm going to check call my second pair. Ace 9, King 9, Jack 9, 10 9. They are great, guys. They can improve to 2 pairs. You can continue check calling. They can just stay the second, like they can stay, you know, like you can still have your 1 pair with 9s and you can catch a trips. You can continue check calling on the turn if the opponent bets into you. This is really good. Next one. So next one, you really want to check call with these hands that are lower than queens, okay? Because the opponent will have queens in his range, okay? That's why you check call with jacks, you check call with 10s. Look, they're stronger than 9s, they're stronger than all our opponent's bluffs. They are weaker than queens. and you want your opponent to bluff. Don't be afraid, guys, to check call these guys. Just click the check call button. That's it. Forget about everything else. Then you will be starting the turn, and on the turn you will be thinking what to do with them, okay? But here on the flop, just click the check call button. 9-8 suited, great to check call. Okay, Queen Jack, Queen 10, great to check call. What about these guys? Oh, these guys, they definitely only play with flushes. Oh, yeah, with flushes, diamonds, draw flushes. Okay, I was going to play some of check calls with my queens. I was going to check call some of my nines. I was going to check raise some of my sixes. Okay, good. So queens, 50% of queens. Let's put, with these queens, don't just check call blindly. Sometimes you might check call, sometimes you might want to check raise, sometimes you might want to bet them. I think with these hands, because they're still vulnerable, right? Just think about this, especially versus opponents that, bluff bet correctly. They bluff bet with draw straights, they bluff bet with draw flushes. So you might want to check raise some of these queens. You might even want to jam sometimes, right? Okay, as for these nines, I want to have these very strong nines on my turn, so I decided to check call all of them. Yeah, they are the second pair, but they are very strong still, I want to see the next hand. Maybe there is going to be one more nine, or maybe there's going to be six, and the opponent was bluffing with his sixes and he will get a trips of six. Or maybe he will have a queen and he will go crazy and he will bet into you and you have your full house. Have these strong combinations, guys. Okay, I was going to check raise with these sixes. I think they're really good to check raise here on this board. So 50% of my sixes, they were going to check raise. Okay, check raise. Sixes, yes. Okay, as for these aces, I think I want to have them in my call. I think I want to have my aces in my calling range here. Don't want quite to check raise here. Why? Yes, the opponent might have a queen, but the opponent has a lot of value hands that he bets with. If they're not stupid, they will balance it so well that it's gonna be a very tough play for you versus this board, I think very rarely you might be able to jam your aces, but like I think with aces of diamonds you want to kind of defend more. The opponent might have already queen 9, 9, right? I mean set of nines, set of sixes, right? So it is really tough, gonna be really tough for you. And if you raise, if you just raise, the opponent will call properly with his draw flushes and draw straights, and you will be, you will be caught. Okay, so that's why I decided to play bets with my aces without diamonds, and my aces with diamonds, I decided to put them in my check calling range. Wait a second. Aces with diamonds are going to be in my check calling range. 100% of these diamonds. Yeah, like this. As for the rest of ace king, honestly, yeah, I don't know even what to do with these ace kings. Maybe just drop all of them. As I told you, you didn't marry these ace kings, maybe you have to just drop them, especially when they have very low potential there. Let's see whether they can squeeze into our calling range. Maybe they cannot. Let's see, 37, not enough, guys, not enough. We need to have more. We need to have more. Queens, tens, jacks, they called, nines, they called. Okay, what about these ace jacks? Yeah, we bet them, bluff bet. Yes, so these guys. Some very powerful draw flushes you want to call, guys. Don't bet them on the flop blindly all the time. You really want to check call some very strong top hands like ace king of diamonds. You can call them two streets. You can call them on the turn one more time. In this way, you are so protected. You're protected versus when the top card comes, you can check call. When the your draw flush completes, you will be dominating your opponent's low flush. When When a straight completes on the board, you know, your opponent straight completes, but for you it's gonna be a flush. You can still dominate and check raise. So that's why, like, guys, play your powerful, super powerful hands on a little bit on a later street. Yeah, I think this one ace-10, like, you can check call, you can check raise, or you can bluff bet sometimes, right? This ace-10 of clubs as well, so that's totally fine. Ace-9, yeah, check call. Okay, good, good. I think maybe we are going to call maybe all of our ace-king. I really want to bluff bet that with this ace-king. Maybe a weak ace-king, like without diamonds, I can check call, because thus our opponent will have some of his draw flushes. Okay, ace-king. Yeah, but then we need to be careful so that comes not a diamond card, right? Yeah. Okay, look here. We have some more check calls with these guys. King, queen. Okay, this is great. Yeah, these ace king are not so stable here. What about this one? Look here. We have a lot of hands here that we left, right? And we have even a lot of clubs there. Why is that? In bluff bet, I have all my diamonds. Ah, that's right. Okay, good. Yeah, so this is a very interesting board, to be honest. Like, I think, here we have some more queens that we are going to check call here with. Yeah, okay, found it. Great. Now we have already 45. Still not enough, guys. Still not enough. We need to check call a little bit more. We need to have our defense system working better in these terms. So I think I want to bluff bet these guys. Do I want to maybe to defend with some? I think some of these 8s and 7s might want to check call sometimes, I think. Especially diamonds. Then we can take it out from our bluffing range and we can put it into our check calling range. I think it would be quite logical and quite correct to do sometimes, because they're not that strong. They're really good to bluff, to be honest, of course, but we can bluff with some of them. Maybe 50%, okay? I will do this. 50% I'm going to bluff. Doesn't even matter what color. I'm going to bluff 50% of them, and I'm going to check call 50% of them. Okay, feels fine with me. What about this ace-king? You know, these ace-kings still don't let me sleep, let's say. You know, they still have very good potential. The only thing is, like, we have to catch something without diamonds. Maybe we want to check call all of these ace-king. Maybe. Maybe we want to check call all of these ace-king. Let's see. 51. Okay, I will put this. I will do this. I will put this in my check calling range without diamonds. I need to have more combinations in my defense so that the opponent doesn't bluff bet with empty hands, with full air. Okay, so far I have 57.25. And look here, so we check raise some of our 6s, 1.5 combinations. To be honest, on such a wet board, I would love to bet a little bit more. So some of these queens I will definitely put into my bluffing range sometimes. Not bluffing, sorry, into my value check raising range. And I will have thus maybe 2, maybe 2.5 value bets that I'm going to, 2.5 value check raises. I need to balance this with my bluff check raises. So as usual, the perfect candidates for the bluff check raise are going to be these guys. So we can just do this and bluff check raise, maybe ace, oh, sorry. Okay, like this. So we're going to bluff check raise ace 5, ace 4 of diamonds, like this. I think that's really good. Especially this one, ace 5 of diamonds, really good to bluff. You know that ace 5 of hearts, by the way, might be a good bluff bet as well. Possibly. Might be, might not be. Might be, might not be. Okay, let's see. So it's going to be like this. I think sometimes ace 3, ace 2, you might want to bluff check raise, bluff check raise. you might want to bluff check raise these guys. Sometimes you want to bet, sometimes you want to bluff check raise with them, and that's totally fine. Let's see. So we have a lot of bluff bets here, like this. I have a lot of draw flush bluff bets as well, so we're fine with that. King, queen, we're going to bet. Ace, queen. I think actually, you know, about some of these king, queen, we might want to call sometimes. Maybe from here. I'm alright with betting them as well. Okay, that's good so far. And what else can we check raise here? I think we might want to check raise some of these. 7-6. The reason for that is we're blocking our opponent's sixes, you know. So if we have a 7-6 here, so the opponent, you know, there's a very low possibility that the opponent will have a set of sixes in his hand. And thus, we are going to build up a very good defending range. I will put this 7-6 of hearts into my check raising range. Like this. 7-6 of hearts, I'm going to check raise. I can catch an 8, I can catch a hearts card, and I can continue betting there. What else? 8-7. Maybe this 8-7 of clubs and 8-7 of hearts, they can check raise sometimes. I don't say all the time you want to check raise them, but I think sometime you can do this. Yeah. Okay, so far, look, we have 5.75. But as I told you, I just didn't mark that. We have some of these queens in our check raising range as well, right? So we have approximately 6.5 combinations, 2.5 combinations are going to be value check raises, and around 4.5 are going to be our bluff check raises. And we are good. We are good with going in any direction. If it goes in the way of draw flushes, we're really good here. And if it goes towards hearts, flushes, draw flushes, we are good here as well. And if it goes towards straights, we are good. If it doesn't go anywhere, we are good as well with our sixes and queens. We can continue pushing on that board. You see, so that's the thing about these bluffs, bluff check raises, all this stuff. You need to be prepared so that the board goes anyway and you filter your hands and play the right hands at that time, right? And still dominate your opponents. That's the whole thing. That's what it is all about. Okay, now let's see what we have here so far. We have here 57.25 hands that are going to be our check calls. Not enough, of course, guys. We need to check call something more, but like I just cannot get my head around this, and I think I will be playing in this way so far. Maybe sometimes Queen 9, don't want to check call it. Yeah, so that's how I'm going to play this board and this hand. So I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.